Hi guys, welcome back to the kitchen. I have discovered I have a tin of pumpkin that needs to be used up. So I was looking through my cookbooks and I found Company's Coming. Which one is this? Muffins and More. So there's a pumpkin muffins recipe right there. I will put the ingredients and instructions in the description below the video. And we'll try this pumpkin muffin recipe out and see how it goes. So I've already taken the time to pre-measure the ingredients so we can speed this along a little bit. The can of pie filling, or pureed pumpkin. Got an egg. So the instructions say combine the first 8 ingredients into a large bowl. Now the key with muffins is you don't want to overmix them once you get your wet and dry ingredients together. So in here I have the flour. We're going to add the baking soda and the baking powder. Oops. We are going to add the blend of spices that it calls for. Salt, cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger. Now it says to stir thoroughly. Oops. There we go. Oh, that flour looks like it has the spices through it. Looks good, looks good. So the next part, it says in a small bowl, beat eggs until frothy. But the recipe calls for only 1 egg. Oops. So, I'm a little confused, but that's okay. We'll see how this goes. So you can use a electric mixer for this, or a fork, or a whisk. You just basically keep beating them around until they're frothy. Little bubbles forming. Alright. Now it says to mix in the sugar, cooking oil, pumpkin, and milk. So there goes the sugar. And like I said, all the ingredients and how much of each ingredient I'll put in the description for you. This is really cool. That's milk underneath oil. Cool bubbles in there. Sometimes if I know I'm going to be combining wet ingredients, I'll just use one measuring cup. And that helps me cut down on dishes. Okay, now normally before you start a recipe, you start preheating your oven. But I just checked and I just turned my oven on now, so I started to preheat it. Got my whisk out. I didn't have raisins, so I'm adding a little bit extra of the pumpkin filling. Plunk that right in there. I'm just going to gently mix this together. You don't want to start off too hard and get splooshed everywhere. Oh, that looks like a nice creamy pumpkin. Just to let you know, it didn't use the whole tin. But I'm going to set a little bit of this aside, and I think I'm going to do a pumpkin cream cheese icing for these. Fill the muffins up in the middle. We'll show you how that's done. So the final step is we are to make a well in the center of this. Now I'm trying to do this. I'm not very good at making wells. I tried with the spatula, it wasn't quite working. So I switched over to a spoon. I'm just gently pushing it in to make a pile here. And then ultimately what the goal is to make a center in the middle of that pile, and that's where you pour your wet ingredients. So, let's see if this worked without, see if I can show you my well without knocking it over too badly. There's my well. There's my well caving in. Now remember I said the key to making good muffins is not to overmix them, and I always overmix mine. So let's just have a go with this. Pour it into the well. Okay, well I don't think that did a whole world of helping, but there's my pile in the well. Keep piling this in here. I love trying new recipes. So good. This is nice and bright orange. I'm wondering if my spoon might be a better way to do this. Well, I'm just going to gently fold this together. Being careful not to overmix. Starting to think maybe it was 2 eggs it needed. Well, we'll give it a go. It says this batch makes 14 muffins. I find that just odd. I don't know. Is it a little dry, do you think? We'll give it a go. Give it a go. Besides, if they don't turn out right, you can always put icing on them. It makes everything better. Okay, stop mixing before I overmix it. Scrape this goodness off the spoon. Now this is pretty thick. It's pretty pretty doughy. Normally I use my little awesome scooper here. It's got a little scraper on the inside. Do you see that moving? And it helps me totally to measure my cupcakes when I'm measuring them out. But I'll just get my muffin container over here and scoop it in and see how it goes. Okay, so what I have here is I've got my little silicone muffin tin liners. And I've put in paper liners in there as well. Easier for transportation. That way, you know, kids can take them to school. Small spoon. I'm just going to plunk some of this in each of the... Didn't say to pour the batter, it said the batter was going to be lumpy. It's kind of lumpy, it's pretty doughy. It's got this beautiful aroma to it, and I'm really enjoying the color of it. They feel like they're going to be light. You can feel the reaction of the baking soda and the baking powder and the salt going on. Like, you can feel a little bit of sponginess in there. So let's see how these go. Still quite a bit of batter left over. So I'm going to pop this into 400-degree oven for 20 to 25 minutes. And then I'll get back to you and show you what's going on here. Okay, so the muffins are done baking. They look really good. Let's see, give this a try here. It really is nice and moist. It's not too spicy. So I personally would add more spices next time. But it's really good. Good with some butter. Warm it up in the microwave. I'm really quite impressed. I'll probably make these again. Check down below for the video. I'm going to show you how to fill them up with some pumpkin spice frosting. Thanks for watching the muffin adventure. Definitely recommend you give it a try. Feel free to share your favorite pumpkin muffin recipe in the comments section down below. I love trying new recipes. I love trying new foods. Everything is pretty awesome that way. So we'll see you next time from in the kitchen.